Welcome to this episode of the Refuel, Rebuild and Reignite podcast, the number one podcast in male body transformations for busy working men. So these podcasts, I like to keep things, quite chilled out, quite relaxed, and just give you guys the absolute best tips I can after working with hundreds of guys, getting them into fantastic shape, not just physically, but mentally as well, and passing on the things that I've learned along the way, the things that I've learned personally that may help you going forward. So today what I'm going to be talking about are 5 ways or 5 things that you want to be focusing on if you want to get yourself in a fantastic physical shape while working long hours, working a hard job, juggling family life, juggling social events and everything like that. That's a little bit of what I want to talk about today. So the number one thing to start off with is commit to the process. So many people use the word hope. Hope is not a strategy. Actually commit to what you're doing, because when you hope it works, the moment that something bad happens or you get that slightest bit of friction, what happens? You just suddenly stop. And then you get that wave of excitement again. You think, fuck, I need to get my shit together. And then you start again. And then when it gets tough, you fall off. So you start at point A where you're absolutely buzzing, you're ready to rock and roll. Then you realise, actually, this is a little bit harder than I thought. Then you start, eating shit food because you're feeling bad, or you start missing sessions. Then you're back at square one and you end up in this constant cycle. So just commit to the process, but just commit to it for a certain amount of time. Just say, look, for the next 90 days, I'm going to go all in, I'm going to commit, and I can guarantee you will make incredible changes when you go all in on that. Number 2, and this is a big one as well, is be proactive. Actually know what your week's going to look like. Plan ahead. And people seem to have this thing where, if you're planning and everything's structured, then things are boring. That's not the case at all. If you're committing to something, you're wanting to get to a certain place, you've got to act out of the identity of the person you want to become. And to do that, you need to know, when am I getting my sessions in this week? Make it a priority. Make getting your training sessions in a priority, because I guarantee you will always feel better after you've done a training session. So even if you're having a shit day, when you get them sessions in, you're going to feel better. When it comes to nutrition, make sure you're eating as many single ingredient foods as you can. Keep your protein high, drink lots of water. Just commit to this. Like I say, commit to it for 90 days and watch the difference that happens. Sometimes, we just got to be one step ahead. We know what we're eating. We might have, used the meal prep company if we're in a position to do so. We've got the foods in that you're going to be eating. You don't just have biscuits on the side at home that are just going to be easy to just grab and snack with. We've got to be proactive in this. You are never ever going to get to where you want to be by just winging it, hoping, nipping to the shop, grabbing meal deals and not being proactive. Everyone that is successful on this program are one step ahead. They'll sit down on a Sunday, Monday morning, Friday, whenever that may be, and decide, right, this week is going to look like this. This is the goal for the week, and now we're going to move towards it by following these simple things. So being proactive is so important. So if you already don't know what you're going to eat this week, you're going to wing it. You're not sure when you're going to get your sessions in this week, you're going to wing it. You're not going to bed at a certain time and getting up at a certain time. You're just going to stay up, piss about on your phone, scroll on TikTok and all that kind of shite. And then you're wondering why you feel like crap and you don't have the energy to get to where you want to be. So be proactive, be one step ahead. Number 3 is just take fucking responsibility. If you want to get somewhere, you've got to take responsibility for your own actions. I see so often, people blame the surroundings, and blame, fault and responsibility, they all get branched together, but they're so different. Like, something may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. Your life is your responsibility. People talk about that they want to be happy. Well, be responsible for that. And remember as well that happiness isn't a destination. People are like, what do you want out of life? I want to be happy. Well, to be happy, you need to do more of the things that make you happy. So really, really focus on what is within your realm of control. Take full responsibility for everything in your control and simply fuck everything else off. Make it as easy to follow as possible. I know for me personally, when I get home from the gym, I empty my gym bag, I load it up for the next day. That's systemized, it's there, it's good to go. My gym clothes are sat there at the end of the bed, so when I wake up in the morning, they're there to put on. You want to create as many systems that make it as easy as possible. And then you can habit stack as well. So if you read the book Atomic Habits, it talks about habit stacking. And essentially what that means is adding habits onto the habits that you already have. So if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is brush your teeth, which I hope you do in the morning, you could say, once I have brushed my teeth, I am going to drink a pint of water. And that is habit stacking, adding these little things up. So really, really try and systemize your way to being successful. And then number 5 is act out of the identity of the person you want to become. Everything is about identity. If you identify as a fit, healthy man who has incredible values and looks after his family, then start acting that way. And then that comes round to taking responsibility. You are responsible for your actions. You are responsible for your feelings. Like I said before, they might not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. So if you want to become a certain person, you want to get to a certain place, start acting like that person. Like, look at your daily actions. Be cognizant of what you're doing all day. If you're laying around and being a slob, but then you're saying that you want to be fit and healthy, your actions aren't in line with that identity of that person. So really sit and think about, am I doing the things that is going to move me closer to the person I want to become? And if not, what do I need to change? And what do I need to implement? And don't try and change everything at once, but if you start pulling away the shit and getting rid of it and adding these small steps that are going to compound, you will get to where you want to be a hell of a lot faster. So there are 5 things that I want you to focus on. I'm going to repeat them now. These 5 things will help you massively when it comes to getting into shape physically, but most of all mentally as well. Number 1 is commit to the process. Select the time frame and commit to it. And when you start to see them changes and you start to see the changes happening, you will get that wave of excitement, that wave of momentum. But it starts with committing for a short period of time, seeing the changes and then building on that. Number 2 is be proactive. Be one step ahead. It's so important to know exactly what you've got coming up that week, to know what you're going to be eating that week the majority of the time, to know when you're getting your sessions in, to know that you're getting your water in, to know that you're going out for walks, to know that you're getting decent sleep. Be proactive, be one step ahead. Now, number 3, take responsibility. Remember, something in life might not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. Take responsibility for everything, and it takes it out of the hands of everyone else and actually empowers you to do the things that you want to do. Number 4, systemize success. Make things as simple as possible so it just falls straight into place. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen Wallace and Gromit in the wrong trousers. When he wakes up in the morning, tips him out of bed, he lands in his pants, everything just falls into place, the toast pops up, he grabs bum and he's out the door. That's the way you've got to be thinking. Make it as easy as possible. Make success as easy as possible by systemizing everything you can. And number 5 is start acting out of the identity of the person you wish to become. So, if you want to identify as a fit, healthy man that is busy working but prioritizes his values of looking after his family, being fit, being strong, being healthy, then start acting out of that. Look at the actions in your life that are working towards that. Look at the actions that are working against that. Start to remove what's working against it. Start to install what will move you closer to your goals. And you will start to get there. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know what was most useful for you. And let's get stuck in. It's all about just committing. It's all about making sure that we're going all in, even if it's for a short period of time. Because even when you go all in for a short period of time, you will realize that you can be mega successful. I hope you enjoyed the pod. Please like, share, subscribe, put something in the comments. Let me know how you found it. These are going to be coming out every Monday. Have an absolutely awesome day and we'll speak soon.